Hi, the old guy here out of Garden of the Gods. What's going to follow this little clip is, man, that kicked my butt. But it's twice as fun as it kicked my butt. I mean, what a workout. But after this little workout blurb, I have a review of True Value pipe tobacco. I'm just going to attach it because that's the best Codger tobacco in the world, in my book. 42-minute smoke on one bowl. So here we are out of the Garden of the Gods. And just wanted to share, you know, it was difficult again this morning. Every morning is difficult. This isn't easy for me at 69. And I was feeling pain right here. Right here. I've had so much of my back removed that the short rib is hitting the hip. And it wasn't deadly pain, it's dull background pain. I have it all the time. I could use that as an excuse to just never do anything and then die in my easy chair. But I have too many things going on to do that. So my opening is this. That Garden of the Gods. Oh my Lord, this is just so beautiful. Yes, it's difficult. It's twice as rewarding as it is difficult, this working out, whatever you can do. It's twice as rewarding as it is difficult. No difficulty, no double reward. Difficulty, what a start to a great day. So God bless, folks. Here's my review of True Value pipe tobacco. I think it cost me $5. 42-minute smoke on one bowl, and actually I dropped the bowl and it knocked a little bit out as I was finishing up the initial video to go edit. I was editing and still smoking. So I'll put a little bit of that clip in there. God bless you. Everything in the following video, I am just stating. First, my quick review of Super Value, all natural tobacco, bourbon whiskey, pipe tobacco, cool smoking, even burning without a bite. I want to get into this later. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. It's not a chemical, it's a natural occurring oil. Makes so much money off of us, injecting us with cancer from God knows where, nothing to do with tobacco. And then they blame everything on nicotine. We'll get into that later, but here we go. Bourbon whiskey, baby. Well, it stays lit, but you know, I'm talking between and things always tend to go out. And so I bought this because I didn't know about Codger tobacco. Like when I was a kid, that was the only tobacco there was. So I guess I'm a Codger now. Describe things. And this is my second favorite pipe. It ain't cheap, but the first favorite pipe is just like out of this world. There's a slight hint of very slight hint of bitter right there, but it's bearable. And it's something I'm sure if I keep smoking it, it's like getting a floater in your eye. They happen, you see them, and then they disappear. I think I could get used to this. With the radioactive tobacco, they hold the tar and the radioactivity in the lung, and that's why lung cancer. It's because of the fertilizer, like the Codgers used to do. Just dump it and refill it, keep smoking. The sinuses don't have alveoli. Nothing for the tars to grab onto and hold the radioactivity that is added by the industry into a lot of tobacco, and especially cigarette tobacco, except for spirit cigarette. Now, what I'm talking about is the fertilizer used, okay? So spirit cigarette doesn't use this fertilizer that a lot of tobacco farmers use. This fertilizer, it's a phosphate-based fertilizer, but the commercial one is mined in sub-Sahara over in Africa. It's actually mined out of the ground, and with it comes polonium. Polonium is radioactive. The tobacco industry, better I say the cancer industry. I think it's the cancer industry because it's all hooked up with medicine and hospitals and treatments and all that. The cancer industry has known about this since 1966. They've known specifically that the polonium, the radioactivity that they put in there with this mined fertilizer is what causes the cancer. Find out what I could do for them to make them healthier while they're smoking cigarettes. Now we're talking pipes here, right? Smoking a pipe, but I interviewed some folks, I think the chemist at Spirit Cigarettes, and he said they don't use that sub-Saharan mined polonium phosphate fertilizer. They do have the organic blend, and I would go with organic if you can, but they do use a purely chemical process to make the phosphate fertilizer, which is more expensive than the stuff they just grab out of the ground. But in Spirit Cigarettes, it's a phosphate chemically made fertilizer, pure chemical process with no polonium, folks. The lie is that tobacco has cancer in it. Tobacco doesn't have cancer until man adds it. Until man adds polonium. So I went through the entire pipe, the length of this video, and then again up until the minutes of this video, and it just went out. How long is that? You figure it out, because I actually got a great nicotine hit here. As good as anything I've ever done. Oh, it's still lit. Done a lot of statistical research on it. Or with pipes or cigars, because we don't action. I can only smoke every third day. Buzz. I didn't get the nicotine kick, and I get that, and I enjoy it with my not sad side effect kicks in. So I'm going to do that as an experiment with this. Nicotine is not a chemical, honey, out our history. I ought to do a channel on it, on the hidden history. Like, you know how the Quakers were, I come from Quakerland. I come from Freedomville. I come from where there was a revolutionary battle at every creek, and there's a sign there for it. And guess what? The Quakers didn't free the slaves. The Quakers were the greatest slave trade. Try to say that 3 times. I am getting a little nicotine on this, by the way. Let's get beyond the history veil and find out that the natives that were here were so orderly and they were so cooperative that tobacco that started out in Peru got all the way up to Jamestown. No, I disagree. I think it was the Carter sisters, I'm singing you this lonesome song, that had the first rock and roll riff in it. I might run out of battery by the time this runs out. Let's see if I can just do a little adjustment. Wow, this is amazing. This is one bowlful. How long's it been? Over 20 minutes. I can't recall a smoke I've ever had that went over 20 minutes. 20 minutes is about it. We need some lubrication here. So let me explain about tobacco that my friend John Mauser got me. This was a brick of the darkest, tarriest tobacco I've ever seen. That was probably the sugars. Because when John gave me a pinch, he said, "This is the first and last that we'll ever have. Let you and me smoke it together." He was a very good friend of mine. He taught me how to smoke the pipe, you know. I've never smoked a tobacco like Amish farmers' private stash that they won't give to anybody except for Jim Mauser, John's brother. And that's my story about John Mauser, Jimmy Mauser, his brother, and the Amish tobacco farmers brick. So don't think that, you know, Woodstock, reliving Woodstock, let's go do microdose and all that crap. I'm telling you, I know as an RN, I was in addictions as a professional, you know, in-house rehab and all that. Don't do it. You do it at your age, old man. You the old guy like me, you're gonna blow your brains out. You're gonna go psychotic. They're gonna put you away. You're gonna die a miserable death. Don't go for that microdosing. I don't care what the other bald guy tells you, Joe, what's his name? He's an ass. It's still smoking. I wonder if my battery's gonna run out. I'm gonna have to end the video because my battery is gonna run out. I'm at 29 minutes on this. I mean, this is amazing. Hey, God bless. This is the old guy signing off.